Hey, what's up, legends? Welcome back to 30 Days of Bible Lettering. Today is day 22nd, and we're going to write, God will generously provide all you need, which is a great verse. Of course, always one of God's promises that He has given us. And I've chosen a card to draw upon, so I'm going to do this right here, right now, on this card. One thing that I've done is it's actually a foldable card, so you can use anything that you have at your disposal. And I've decided to go with a ribbon flow design. So I'll start off here with this is where God will come in, and then we'll have these things going over on top of each other. And here, this one is a long one, so I'm going to pick up this. And so one thing you want to do when you're doing different layers of a ribbon style is you want to kind of make them go on top of each other and have these outlines all. And then here we'll dive back in deep in here, and then finally recover with a rounded shape. And so this is giving me approximately all the lines that I need. And the tricky part will really be how you make sure that it will be hidden in the back, in the front, and also one thing that I've struggled with this design here is actually to know which words you want to put in where. So first off, sketch out all your letterings, all your boxes where you want them to be before finally starting to ink on it. And to ink on it, I'm going to be using some here, some different, the silver here. This one is beautiful. So just deciding to go here with the ink. So with the silver lettering here, and I'm not gonna fill it all out because we're gonna use some black later on to draw upon it and mask out some parts. Same thing gonna happen over this side. So that often happens for me when I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing or what I'm trying to do, but I want to get this effect. And as you can see, the silver at the beginning starts to go out, and you could also use some stippling if you wanted to kind of create this gradient effect of it being hidden by something else. So that is also a very cool form of doing that. Just takes also a lot of time, which is still cool and fun to do. So you see, I'm pivoting as I'm going because I'm trying to figure out the coolest ways to put all of this together. And when I do these challenges, it's all about figuring out as you go, not spending too much time here. I'm wanting to do the top and just figuring out if this will actually work, or maybe I've just given myself a challenge that isn't doable, but that is not often the case. So you want to not play too safe, especially not during a challenge. You might have heard me say this a couple of times. And you could also, instead of going over it afterwards with black, just write it in, write it out like this, and then leave it blank. But I'm just going in, drawing it all up, because that's, for me, a process that is way faster. So I'm using here Stabilo Pen 68 metallics. They're great. You'll find a lot of different metallics pens as well. I've just been blessed enough to receive all of these metallic pens for free, so I get to use them. So that's why I have them with me. But they're great quality. I love them really much. And this is not sponsored. I'm not getting paid to say that, but I do, to be fully transparent, do receive all of these for free. So here, this is where I think I want the banner to start. And so I'm going to also add this in here, and then here, create the stippling. So this is a fast stippling going on. And then you can kind of like see that like it could go behind here and so on. And so that's why you all have these elements. For example, here, this is where it kind of would fade out. And so that's why you probably would want to add some stippling in between here as well. The same way you will do just one level lower. And just keep on adding all of these lines together, because that is the beauty of creating beautiful lettering. So that's kind of like where it could embellish around, or it could go around here and then come back there. So you could kind of add like where you think the ribbon should go through. Like it should have some sense to it. Otherwise, it would be senseless, and we do not necessarily want to have a senseless lettering. But not all things need to make sense to work and to look pretty and great on a card. And then just again, some quick, fast stippling to put them all together. And here it's definitely somewhere where I'm not sure how to blend in all of these designs in here. That would be the train passing through. In case you were wondering what the sound is, that's when you have your windows open because it's hot in here and you need some fresh air. So that is that. Now, I'm going to be drawing inside here, and I'm going to be using a black pen to do that. And I'll be trying out a couple different ones because I'm not sure which one will actually work. So first off, I'm going to be starting with God. So here, see, this one disappears right away. Let's see if I can use a different one. This one also fades away right away. Now, there are not a lot of options left here, but I do have some fine liners, some mediums, some Mark for All, some other pens in here. So try this out at home. This one also seems to disappear. Now, see, this is why you should try that out first before you do a live stream. Now let's have 2 more tests. We have a couple more pens to try out. That's why we have an arsenal of different pens here. just like this one here. Now they do not stick at all, so finally there's one last option left, and that's to use acrylic marker, because acrylic markers actually, they draw on anything. God, and since we're keeping the lettering here pretty simple, will, and then we go on top here. Generous. Provide. See, this is where could have also planned out that a little bit better. All, and sometimes you really just need to do like the all U. So for example, you could start either with the letter in the middle, like that, and then finally need. And so once you've got that done, you have a beautiful ribbon style look. You can still add some stars around if you want to really pop that a little bit. You could also draw that in like in different colors in here. So all these stars always work really well. So some smaller ones, maybe a bigger one here. That is great for using up the space everywhere in between. And then some pointed dots all around. Just like that. So that is version 1 that you can do. God will generously provide all you need. And you can see it glows up really well. And then finally, now you can see I have all of this sticky thing here. So that helps me to hold down the card really well. And I can do the opposite here. So going in. Another thing that is really cool whenever you're designing a card is just to go with like one word after another. So for example, you start off here on the top. Then you have here will, for example, there. And then, you can always fill out these parts here. So fill in, for example, half of it. Create like a gradient in there. Fill out the other half here. Create a stippling gradient. might need to change this one here. You can also switch with colors, going for example with a gray one and say generously. So change for example the font, do something more Western style for example. And I need to be a little bit careful of how many letters I can squeeze in here now, because I still need to draw like a long word. But this is absolutely great exercise to try out different styles and play with these. Oops, there's another E coming in. I was already at the O. Oh, now I might be running out of space a lot faster than I thought. Generously. Ooh. I might be shortening down now. And there you see, we barely made it. That was a very close call here. Generously. Let's switch up some colors again. Maybe go to this bronze style. Generously provide. So always go with the first line, like the inline, and now it's easier to then add some weight on top of everything. It's like a faux calligraphy style effect that you create. You can correct some elements here by drawing in an outline as well. God will generously provide all you. So I'm gonna keep the all you smaller. Keep that in silver maybe, perhaps. Or actually, generously need. Go back in gold. And I feel like one of the problems with these pens is that they do dry out if you have opened them, use them a bit. Now I'm just using up all the space left here. And then finally going in with the big word, need. 4-letter word. Like that. And then we can do the same thing as we did on top, was to kind of like using the stippling gradient by filling out just one part up, not doing all of it here, just some of it, and using some gradient dots to fill out the rest. Like you add also 3 effects and everything else you want. But again, just be mindful of all the effects you can do. Or just remember that there's a lot of things that you can do. And you can try them all out and see like how cool they are, how they'll create. And I wonder right now if this silver will actually turn out more like the silver on top, or if it's just going to stay like this at the bottom. But right now I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Again, this is just filling out like one by one. That's a cool, easy technique to draw out whatever you want. And also here, this is God will generously provide all you need. Creating a ribbon effect, some stippling in here just to create the whole look. So I hope that this is something that you've enjoyed and that you're ready to try it yourself. Hopefully this is a cool DIY project that you can also do yourself, because you can like go all nuts, like just fill it all out. Don't worry about how it will come out, because repetition is the key here in this progress, in this element. And don't forget, God will always generously provide all that you need. So I want to pray and finish off by praying. So thank you, God, for giving us so much wisdom, and that you are always for us, and that you will always provide everything that we need, and even more, that you will give us above and beyond whatever we can expect or imagine, because you can do whatever, like way beyond anything that we can ask or imagine. So thank you so much for all that you've done and that you will do. And guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that I'll see you tomorrow again for day 23 of 30 Days of Bible Learning. See you, goodbye.